Hey friends, so I've got something that I know will change the way you start your week and honestly how you show up in your life. So I want to introduce you to what I call the mind reboot. All right. And this is a reboot for the total professional. And so in this few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how to utilize or best do this mind reboot on a weekly basis. All right, so let's get started. Well, let's be real. You have a lot on your plate. Your work, you have work timelines you need to meet. You have family needs, dozens of ideas, swimming in your mind and in your notes app. And on top of that, you've got your own goals that you need to attend to, and it's constantly screaming at you, don't forget about me. Can you relate to that? So it all starts to pile up, doesn't it? One after the other, all jumbled up. And so before you know it, your mind feels sort of full, but unfocused, busy, but not productive. Have you found yourself trying to remember things, feeling forgetful? There's so much that seems going on, but when you look at it, there's not much moving in the direction that you want to, right? So that is why this mind reboot is so critical for a professional who wants to have better control of their lives. Now, you not being able to get things going the way you want to isn't because you're lazy or unmotivated, right? It's because your mind is overloaded with things that are important and a lot of things that are outdated or not important. You have no business carrying it in your on your mind. So think of your computer having so many tabs open. What does it do? It tends to slow down everything. So you realize that when you turn it off or restart it or close out the tabs, that computer runs a lot better. And it's the same way with our minds. We've got to learn to reboot where necessary. All right. So this is where the weekly mind boot for the total professional comes in. It is almost like a mind refresh button. All right. So why is this important? You may ask if I haven't convinced you enough. It's not a productivity exercise, not another one we're going to go through. But what it helps you to is it helps you do four things. It helps you know what's worth your energy and time. Number two, it helps you work through know what you can do later. It also helps know what needs to be completed, or sorry, it also helps you know what you need to release completely. And last but not the least, what you can say can wait and without feeling guilty. All right. Okay, so we're going to go through, I'm going to walk you through some very key areas to help you not feel so cluttered up and, so you can better hear your inner voice and be in control like the CEO that you are. All right, so let's get started. So, how this works, I'm going to walk you through some step by step on the mind reboot. The first thing I want you to do right now is to set yourself up. All right, so find a quiet place, limit the noise and distraction. It's only going to take you a few moments, within 10 minutes or less. So find a quiet place. Sometimes people like to do it in their car, just sneak out some time away from your phone, away from distractions as much as possible. All right. And grab this template, a printed copy of it. It's just one page and a pen and get ready. You want to take a deep breath. Don't make this too overbearing or seems it's just a simple tool and say to yourself that I'm here to declutter. As simple as that. There's a lot on my mind here. I just want to declutter. All right. So the first step is again setup. The second step, you want to look at the, as I mentioned, we have, you're going to look at this weekly mindset reboot and it's put into four areas, as we can see from the four quadrants here. So you have spiritual, your personal, your professional, and thrive, right? So what you're going to do is write down anything that is swirling on your mind. All right. It's put into four areas just to kind of remind you of the things that you're carrying. But frankly speaking, if it's all over the place, that's okay. If you can get it into those individual slots, great. If not, just right away. Okay. The key thing I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this brainwash, the second one, is don't edit. Don't filter, just let it flow. All right. Don't be concerned about dotting your I's and crossing your T's and all of that. Spill everything on paper. This is you. Spill everything on the do not hold back. All right. Do not hold back. This is something that you've heard others say called the brain dumping exercise right now. There's a lot along the way each day that you keep on your mind. You've got to be able to dump that out. All right. So there are key areas, and you have each explaining what it is. What do you need to do? What is on your mind? Worries, anything. So your to-do list, the what ifs, the goals, and even the things that are bothering you. You want to put all that information down. All right. Then the next thing you're going to do, the third step, is sort through. You're going to sort through all that you've written down. And so what you're going to do in that big that big pool of your thoughts all over the paper, you're going to cross out any unnecessary things or out of control, something in the past, something you just know you have no control about. It's happened. You've got to move on, cross it out. It feels great to cross out. Circle anything that needs to be delegated to something or a tool. All right. Check mark something that you can carry forward and work on later. Doesn't mean something that needs your immediate attention, but it's something you would address later. Then the last but not the least, you want to start on the immediate things that you need to get done, something that needs your attention immediately for that week, which is why we're doing this weekly. All right. So that's the sort through. Then the fourth step, you're going to commit. What are you going to do with all that you've put in place, right? So for the stuff that you start, you're going to assign a time frame in your calendar. So you're going to move it to a calendar. Okay. You cannot just leave it as is on that brain dump paper. So that's going to say, this is what I'm going to work on next week. Then the stuff that you ticked off or you checked off, those are things that you're going to do later. Might not need your immediate attention, but you can now schedule it into your calendar for another day. It's tentative, right? It could change, but at least it is also on your calendar. Then there are things, we are not all in a sense superheroes that you want to do everything. There's some things that others or tools can do better. So assign those tasks, which is the circled ones, to the responsible parties or what can handle this area better. And then last but not the least, that crossed out one, release it completely. Don't revisit. All right. It's not serving you. Maybe it's happened. You've done your best. It is what it is. You move on. You learn from the lessons. You keep it moving. There's some, why is the sky blue? You keep it moving. It is blue. It is. Let's move on, right? There's some things that we're constantly brooding over that really doesn't serve us and needs to be dropped, right? So when you've identified that, you realize that all that is on your mind is now dumped on paper. You take what is useful to you, right? You get the lessons and the patterns you're seeing there, and you keep it moving. All right. So now that you have done all this brain dumping, you want to make your week the best week yet, which is now, what are your three biggest priorities? In other words, what are some things that you need done or needs to be done this week that will make you feel the most fulfilled and in control? Just three things. So, out of these areas of your life and all that you've written and crossed out, you're going to look at those things that you've put asterisks beside them and say, what are three things out of those that I can carry to the week to work on? How easy is that? That's it, right? Because a lot of times and this fifth one is called the lock in, because A lot of times we have so much going on and we're not doing what needs to be done. But this exercise helps us identify exactly what would move the needle. All right. And so, as we wrap up here, again, this is just a simple exercise. I encourage you to take the time to do. But you want to print out this one-page mind reboot template and keep it somewhere visible. Okay, make it your Sunday or Monday ritual. You'd be amazed at what would happen is every Sunday you're looking forward to, rebooting or resetting your mind to be able to handle this week in a way that you would feel fulfilled and in control, all right? So it also, the reason why this is so key is because you will start your week knowing where you stand spiritually, personally, professionally, and your overall being. It is so important you're looking at the totality because if I don't put this in this four quadrants, a lot of times people will end up focusing on one more area than the other because of, maybe what is happening at that time. And then for professionals, they're prone to focusing more on their professional life. But I want you to recognize that there is more to you than your job, right? And so you want to be able to look at everything holistically. Because here's the truth, you're not behind, you're not scattered, you're not broken. You just need a good reboot. All right. So when your mind, your body, and your spirit are aligned, you become unstoppable. You become in control of this life that you have. So thank you for joining me today. Here's to the week of not just being busy, but being intentional and in control. All right. So go ahead and grab your mind reboot and get to work. And as always, keep unfolding. There is more to you than meets the eye. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.